It's a miserable raining day for Blood Bowl, and this is season 62. Jevouse and I usually have epic games where the dice will swing wildly to both of us throughout it, and trust me, today's no exception. So he wins the toss. He decides to kick, which is a good move. His main player, he's got Eldril, he's got a wizard because of some handicap. I've got a lot of block guard, and that's Ubir. He's my kind of star ball carrier. So, it's always going to be a perfect defense or a blitz for him or me, because that's just, the crazy dice that him and I tend to have. So he gets the perfect defense. He does a good job. I'm using it, and away I go. So obviously the plan for me is just to simply cage up and run down. Now, he loves using his assassin to leap over and stab, and all I've got to do is form up a cage and slowly grind my way down the pitch. He does have to grow over a 9 on these leaping stabs, but they do drive me crazy because it is so hard to stop. And he does a really good job of getting people around the ball, and I feel like I'm out of control a little bit of this here. I don't like how many people are around it, and I'm not making any progress upwards. So I guess that's to be expected when he gets a good defense or something like that, but he is a very good coach. And so that's what I'm dealing with at this point in time. I just kill Eldril Sidewinder, so that's a really good thing. I hate that hypnotic gaze, and I just start to get on top of the blocking battle a little bit and start to gain some space. He double downs my troll and barely hurts it. Get regenerate, so it'll be back, but it's off the pitch. And at this point in time, because of the turnover, I'm really on top of it. I've got a nice cage going, and I'm going down the pitch. So we all know what's coming. Here comes the fireball. I really should have left that guy there. But in any event, bam, it knocks out my all-important ball carrier. He gets 2 down, so a pretty good fireball. But he needs to, capitalise on this. He needs to knock this person away. And right now you can see he's going to move the ball as fast as possible. If he gets a defensive score straight off the bat, it is going to make it very hard for me. And he does a great job. Look, it's not that hard. That was a great fireball, and he pushes him away, picks it, makes the roll, makes the pass, gets it. Now I go for an all-out blitz here. With an agility 3 person, it's a 4+, it's a 3+, and it's an only 1 dice block. But he does have diving tackle, stand for him tackle. So had I got him away, it would have been a good shot. There's not much I can do other than just simply move some people down here and pressure him. If I was him, I probably would have backed myself here and maybe gone for one more turn, but he doesn't. He scores. I'm receiving the ball. I've got 2 turns to score. It's going to be very difficult, and of course he rolls a perfect defense because, don't get me started on the dice that him and I have, but they do swing wildly one way, so you never, soon I'll be nailing stuff is my thoughts. And but he gets a perfect defense. I do get a touchback, which is really handy. But his deep defense would have allowed me to really run the ball up. Now it's a lot harder. I mean, he's got the ball and the goblin surrounded. It's not looking likely that I'm going to be able to do it. And I sort of, rather than run the ball down, in which case I'd have, the choice of running and going for it, I use so much up here that I just can't sit the goblin there. And I run the goblin down here for the idea of throwing it. I probably should have left him next to the troll, but in any event, I've got some plays around which will make it hard for him to put a lot of marks on it. And he does get it down. He puts a player there. Throwing is not the best of times, but I get a clean run at it. I got a re-roll, and no problem. Off I go and score. And, that's one of our funniest memories, the unlikely throw teammate event. So we get a weather change here, which is fantastic for him because he's about to receive the ball. But you can't complain. It was really his coaching skill that got him that first touchdown. And throwing teammates are never that reliable. Pretty funny, really. That we got away with it. He does get another player out. Fractures the leg of my Black Orc in the last turn. So really, it's anyone's game. Start of the second half. He's getting the ball. Gets a point here. And I set up my defense. Now, we all know what's coming. It's going to be a blitz this time, and I get to go first. That's just the way we seem to roll. And, I make use of it best I can. Really mark him up a lot of tackle zones. I got a bit of diving tackle around. I got a bit of tackle and stand firm to make it harder for him. And he goes out quite, and that blitz allows me to push that Witch Elf up against the line there. And he doesn't manage to remove that Witch Elf from that position, which is going to give me a chance, if I can handle it, of knocking him off the pitch, which everyone loves to crowd surf a free player off. So he runs some players down to try and put some pressure on me, but I stick to my guns and do whatever I can to get this Witch Elf off the ground, which I managed to do, and I refuse to stand that player up. And I do at the end and dodge, but I'm not running any risk. That one's got stand firm, but I'm not running any risk of getting them off. Anyway, he ran it down here. He had a Nerves of Steel runner ready to catch it and try and score. He decided, I guess, to score straight away. I didn't think that there was a need for it, but he knows Dark Elves a lot better than I did. You always run the risk of a interception, which didn't happen. However, he did double fumble the ball. It was a 3+. He rolled a 2, used a team re-roll and fumbled it. So that's going to start off a bit of a chain reaction here, where I'm really able to pressure the ball, and I managed to pick it up. I go for it twice, but I've got an agility 4, block. I was a blitzer. And so he's going to try and get down. He uses a re-roll on that, can't get it off me. And this blitz is going to drive him crazy for a while, because, he gets some decent dice, but I'm, just able to loosely cage, and he doesn't really, right there, I can't quite fully cage that without going for it, which I'm not willing to do with a loner. So let him, block 2 dice uphill, which he does, and it doesn't get me down, dodges out. And, I'm slowly driving down the pitch, and I'm feeling pretty happy with myself. I mean, I've only got 1 re-roll left, but it didn't look like after that first touchdown I was going to be able to win this. Downwards I go. He stabs me again, goes for another, no he doesn't, he blitzes, uses a re-roll, still can't get me down. So that's 4 2-die block he chooses, plus 1 2-die uphill block that he can't get me down. And look, I do a good job here, I think, as best I can with the plays that are available to me forming a cage, or a screen, I should say, in this instance. But he's a good coach, and they are Elves, so he's going to be able to get around, which he does with that extra movement. 1-die block, of course, this is the one that's going to fire. That's just the way that our dice seem to go when we play each other, and that's the one that fires. So now I've lost the ball. And I don't have any re-rolls left. He doesn't have any re-rolls left, and so I try and get as many tackle zones around that ball as I can, because I don't want anyone scoring. I can nearly take a draw, but in the context of the league, it's my 3rd game. I've got 2 draws, so I'm pushing back. I go to pick up the ball and I drop the ball, even though it was a 2+. Now he's got his chance of getting the ball back. He manages to get an assist there and block, pushes me onto the ball to try to get it away from these tackle zones, and it lands perfectly for him. And he dodges and trips on a 2+ as well. So, it's just the type of crazy stuff that happened throughout the game. Everyone's fallen up all around themselves. So once again, I do the best I can, pull the tackle zones around, badly hurt on that play, get my agility 4 guy to pick it up, and I think I have to go for it there, which I do, and score 2-1. So he's only got 1 left. I don't have enough stand firmers to flood the line, so instead I opt for a fairly loose 1-turn touchdown defense, and he can't hit it. And that's our game. He's a very good coach, and I certainly got lucky then. Someone always gets lucky when we play each other. And that throw teammate was fairly ridiculous. And this is DDS signing off, just reminding you that guard conquers all.